Thanks for tuning into the BoshNRoll channel. Liking the video and subscribing to the channel are free and easy for you, and they help me out a lot. If you want to go further with your support, Patreon and YouTube membership offer access to the BoshNRoll Discord community, early access to lists, written content, things like that. You can have me play your deck on the channel, and the highest tiers come with individual coaching sessions. If you use YouTube membership, you also get sweet badges and emotes integrated here into YouTube. You can support the channel while you shop at tcgplayer.com by using my affiliate link in the video description, and you can play any deck anytime by using a cardhoarder.com loan account on Magic Online. If you want to wear your support, check out the merch store. And of course, thanks for being here. Now let's go play some Magic. Welcome to another BoshNRoll Legacy video. Today, at the request of Patreon subscriber Swan, I am playing Blue-Green Turbo Stasis. This is a deck that I played on the channel a couple months ago, and Swan saw the deck, was so excited about it, joined my Patreon, and we've been working on the deck together in coaching sessions and bouncing messages back and forth. And this is where Swan landed with his current build. This version features Defense Grid and Elvish Spirit Guide. Like, we're just trying to go fast here. My version, my previous one, had Force of Will in it and like tried to play a more like medium Urza Saga sort of control game that got the hooks in with Stasis eventually. It can go fast, but it also just sometimes settles in and plays a mid game. This deck's not really trying to do that. It's going for the combo fast. So let's talk about the combo real quick. For those of you who did not see the first video, go check that out, by the way. It was awesome. Stasis, originally printed in Alpha. This is one of the first Magic cards that existed. 1 and a blue enchantment. Players skip their untapped steps. At the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice Stasis unless you pay blue. The premise of this card is you can freeze the game until you run out of blue, because like you pay a blue in your upkeep and then that land never untaps, so eventually Stasis will go away when you run out of blue mana, right? Wrong. Padme Amidala meme. Right? Right? The Stasis goes away, right? Anakin Skywalker over here. Forsaken City. Doesn't untap during your untap step. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may exile a card from your hand. If you do, untap Forsaken City and tap to add 1 mana of any color. So as long as you have a single card in your hand, you can lock the game out with Stasis forever. Or at least make sure things never untap forever. The way you lock the game up that way is Root Maze. Artifacts and lands enter the battlefield tapped. If lands enter the battlefield tapped and never untap, it's very hard to cast spells. And that is a lock eventually. And then the way you win once you have this lock is Black Vise. When it enters the battlefield, choose an opponent. At the beginning of the chosen player's upkeep, Black Vise deals X damage to that player, where X is the number of cards in their hand minus 4. So if they have 5 cards in hand, they take 1, 6 they take 2, 7 they take 3, etc. Black Vise you can get into play when nobody can cast spells because you have Urza Saga, which doesn't need to cast anything. This is a land. You could just play it under Stasis. It enters the battlefield tapped, stays that way, but 3 turns later, pops and gets Black Vise, and then your opponent just dies slowly from there. Howling Mine is also a card from Alpha. We're going way old school with this deck. This makes players draw 2 cards per turn, so Black Vise can kill faster. It lets you actually pull ahead under Forsaken City rather than just treading water. Also, fun thing, it only works when it's untapped. So if you have a Root Maze and you play Howling Mine, it comes into play tapped, and your opponent doesn't get to draw in their first turn, and then it untaps, and you get the first bonus draw of Howling Mine. Good stuff there. And Kiora, untap up to 1 target creature and 1 target land. If this is a 4-mana spell in a deck that's trying to go pretty fast, it's kind of a big ask, but she does win the game on her own under Stasis because she untaps your land every turn, and if you ever get a Construct token or a Spirit Guide into play, it can untap that creature and attack for every turn as well. Kind of a fun top-end thing that the deck can do. And like I said, this one's going fast. There's 3 Defense Grid in the main. The Force of Wills are in the sideboard for when you need to be defensive, but the Defense Grid is here. Funny enough, it's called a defense grid, but we're using it extremely offensively. We want to stick defense grid or at least check counter spells and then go Root Maze Stasis to follow up. Crop Rotation gets the Forsaken City if you need to pay for Stasis. It gets the Urza Saga if you already got the combo going, and ties the whole game together. Elvish Spirit Guide for fast mana, and we're off to the races. That's the deck. Let's go play it. I'm on the draw in round 1. I have Root Maze, Stasis, and Forsaken City all here. I'm in. Let's go. What are we even doing if you don't keep this hand? Misty Rainforest. Oh no. Okay. Wasteland's kind of a beating, no matter what. Both Black Vices in my hand. That actually sucks all kinds of ass. And you need the Root Maze in play to jam the Stasis, or else they could just Wasteland your Forsaken City. Alright, I'm going to lead on Saga, play the Black Vice, and hope I can work my way past Wasteland. Alright, the Vice is in. You're taking 1 in your upkeep. Let the bleeding begin. There's the Wasteland. God, they're not even using it. That's so much worse than if they did use it. Well, Forsaken City can... Damn it. Alright, well, that's still fine. I'll float a mana. It's weird they let me get to my main phase. I don't understand. I don't know, I feel like that's literally the worst time to do that. But, okay. You do you. Forsaken City, and I could play around days with Root Maze, or I can slam Defense Grid and start to hold up. I think I need the grid. That's where this game is going. Can't currently beat creatures, wastelands, or spells, so start checking boxes. If I get spells out of the way, I know what I need to do against everything else. Okay, actual Force of Will, pitching Brazen Borrower. Okay, Brazen Borrower is kind of a scary card against my deck that's trying to win with a permanent base lock. I gotta hope that I gotta hope they just don't have Wasteland, and if they do, that they wait for me to pitch a card. Which just fucking fired it off. Yeah, they don't care. Alright. I need to runner lands now. Land. Yeah, if they had waited for me to exile a card from my hand to untap Forsaken City, then I could have crop rotated it away in response to the Wasteland, but that's not what happened. Land? Oh no. Oh no. Fucking Delver. We've been properly Delverified here. Aggressive iteration. Yep. Let's go. This is a 25 land deck, by the way, plus the Spirit Guides. There's 29 mana sources in this deck. A preposterous number for a legacy deck. Okay, we're in there. Preordain, let's go. The race is on. Okay, this could still happen, it seems. Top. Okay. Moment of truth. Delver didn't flip. Deck me for 4 here. Go to 10. Murktide Region is not lethal. Don't care about a land. Alright, well, one of us is dead here. 2 cards left. Please don't be counterspells. Forsaken City. Stasis. You can pay for days with Spirit Guide, and then get weird for a while. Well, did I win? Oh my god. It suddenly happened. They can attack me for 9 if Delver flips. Days was just the revealed card. They can put me to 1. And can't cast any more spells this game. Okay, I'm at 1. And now we chill. I gotta stack Stasis first, so I can pitch a card to Forsaken City, and then pay for Stasis. And that's what the rest of this game's gonna look like. And they will eventually run out of cards. Or they'll eventually run out of things they can play and start taking damage from Black Vice, and then the game's over. As long as I stack my triggers correctly, we're good. They drew a land, so they're not taking damage yet. Playing the land doesn't even do anything. I'd rather just keep cards in my hand. Drew another land. Alright. Continue to not take damage is the plan here. They'll eventually run out. I drew another land. Around and around we go. Okay, they missed a land drop. They're going to start taking damage next turn. They're getting a lot of information about my deck from the cards I have to pitch. I'm going to try to hide the crop rotations as long as I can, because they're a wasteland deck and that might come up in the sideboard games. Yeah, they figured out what's going on here. Back on my bullshit. To the sideboard we go. Okay, Defense Grid is probably the best card in this matchup. Pithing Needle on Wasteland is kind of a big deal. Do I want Force of Wills over that, though? Like, shoving my combo through is pretty important. Black Vice, important. Chain of Vapor is pretty bad in this matchup. I don't love Chain of Vapor just as a magic card at all, but it is a 1-mana answer to things that are in play, which is a big... Like, you can't play it when you already have Stasis down, because then they just sack a land and bounce Stasis. But if you need to just, like, buy time against a Murktide or whatever, it does the job in a deck like this. I think having Needle for Wasteland is good enough, and maybe I want the Flusterstorms. Or this could be a Tabernacle matchup also. Tabernacle, Fluster. Yora's probably a Pipe Dream here. 4-mana blue card against the Pyroblast deck. Make room for another Force of Will. It's awkward to have Force of Will and Defense Grid in your deck at the same time, but I'm seeing it as more of the same. Like, there are just more ways to shove my lock in. I think I want to shave a Howling Mine as well. You never really want Delver to have more cards. Alright. I'm committing to playing small ball here and just getting rid of the Howling Mines. We're not going to do our whole engine thing against Delver, so I'm going to get my protection in, and off we go. Okay, I have the Root Maze. I have the whole combo again. I'm going to keep Volcanic Island Ponder. Okay. I could start with Root Maze. I could start with Saga. I could just preordain and try to build up. I kind of want the Root Maze in, though. And I can Spirit Guide to pay for a Daze. And then I can't jam Stasis next turn because I'll have Root Maze. It's in there. All right. We're taking it slow. Next turn. Oh, I was about to say I'm going to play Saga. I might not if they have Wasteland. I guess Forsaken City is more important than Saga, though. I could just go for the lock right now also. This Stasis, Pitch Spirit Guide. And I can pay for Daze. I'm losing to Force anyway, but okay. Stasis. Please have Daze, please don't have Force. Alright, there's Daze. I'll pitch my other Spirit Guide to pay. Are we in? Oh my god! The turn 2 win! It's over! I get to play Saga next turn. 3 turns from now it'll get Black Vice, and as long as I don't draw my 2 Black Vices on those 2 turns, this game is over. Did not get their cheeky little attack for 1 in. It doesn't matter. Exile my Preordain. Float a blue. And there's the Saga. That gets Black Vice 2 turns from now, and we're done. That felt amazing. Just smeared Delver. Game 1, I did not think we were winning at all, but Spirit Guide came in clutch, and Spirit Guide won game 2 as well. Just the burst of mana against the Wasteland Daze deck. Oh, feels fucking good. On to the next round. On the play in round 2, I'm going to keep this hand. And I'm going to kind of settle into a more controlling role. I could Saga on 1, never make a construct, and just get the Black Vice and hope things come together. Or I could Island Preordain on turn 1 and set up like an actual Saga game plan, backed up by Defense Grid and the threat of combo at any time. Alright, I don't want either of these. I already have... Alright, there we go. There's Stasis. I already have a Saga and a Forsaken City. I don't need another Forsaken City. And I can Saga Defense Grid this turn. Saga. Grid. At this point, my fair blue opponent is like, what the fuck? Already worried. Oh, do we get to eat Delver again? Alright, I don't feel bad about setting them back a land and a counterspell here. They did have Brainstorm to use the mana. That's still a pretty awkward Brainstorm. And if they Wasteland here, then they have no permanents. And if they don't Wasteland here, then I have Urza Saga. Alright, fair enough. It's all a distraction. Forsaken City is the actual important one. Come on, Root Maze. I'm gonna Brainstorm looking for Root Maze. Spirit Guide. I'll want that eventually. And I'm gonna get another basic. Yeah, I have the Spirit Guide for green. I'm gonna get basic Island and cast Preordain here. I'm looking for Root Maze to close this up. There it is. Is it too late for Howling Mine, or is it perfect for Howling Mine? That's interesting, because I have the Root Maze, but alright. It's too late for Howling Mine. I could Root Maze right now, which would slow them down. and take days out of the equation this turn. They could still daze me next turn. Yeah, I think I'd rather just wait. And I get Forsaken City untapped, and then I have 4 mana, and I get to ignore daze. Force of Will beat me here. If I draw Defense Grid, I'll spend a turn deploying it. Did not shuffle. Bobble, okay. Taking a peek. Yeah, they need Force of Will or the game ends here. But obviously, if they have it, I'm in trouble. Crop Rotation. Not a card I'm upset about. Okay. I'm going to hide the Spirit Guide and play the land first. There's a long pause right now. This is somebody who's deciding if they're going to cast Force of Will. All right. Got to go for it. Got another Days with a Spirit Guide. Life is good. Do you have anything else? Or are we done? Boo, they also had Force. All right. Force pitching EI. Sure. Okay. I'm probably going to leave Forsaken City tapped and just play under Root Maze. Oh, I can just cast Black Vise. That's great. I think I'd rather brainstorm and see if we can move this game forward. The land's good. The crop rotations are kind of bad. So's the Chain of Vapor. All right, I'll jam Black Vise. If we're going to play slow, this might actually just get incidental damage. Black Vise is in play. And it's tapped. Good thing that doesn't matter. Thanks, Root Maze. Opponent takes 1. Start the clock. Channeler. Another tapped land. Okay, I am not going to exile. Yeah, not having an actual green source here is pretty much a gigantic nightmare. Kind of want to save this Chain of Vapor for a Murktide Regent. Not that I'm comfortable taking 3 every turn, but 3 is a lot less than 8. And there it is. Patience, folks. I am going to go for the chain here. You want to sack a land to bounce my Root Maze or my Black Vise? Nope, they don't. All right. I am probably going to exile Crop Rotation to untap my Forsaken City because I'm drawing another Crop Rotation, which can rotate for Saga, or at least play around Wasteland a little bit. All right, fetching for another land that's going to come into play tap, but the fetch does give them Delirium. Please pay 2. Please pay 2. Please pay 2. All right, they weren't fooled. You can pay 2 life for Steam Vents, and then it still ends up tapped because of Root Maze. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, next turn they can Murktide again. All right, I'm gonna float green or float blue, use green, rotate my island into Saga right now before the Ponder resolves and they find a counterspell. My constructs come into play tapped, which may or may not be relevant, but it is a thing. And being Hellbent is rough because even if I draw Stasis now, I have to wait a turn because I have nothing to pitch to Forsaken City. Oh, they've found a Wasteland. The Saga is kind of a distraction. The Forsaken City is the real card, but it doesn't matter. Ooh, that's a good one. That can get me out of this. Even comes into play tapped, so they don't get to draw the first card. If there was a way out, it involves this Howling Mine. Though they are going to cast Murktide Regent and Wasteland me this turn, both of which are bad. 3 puts me to 10. Murktides, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, the choice between zapping City or Saga is really interesting, and they went after Saga, which is actually the wrong choice. And I'm excited about it. Oh, they have another Wasteland, so I need to come up with Stasis this turn. Like, I need to... My top 2 cards off the Howling Mine need to be Stasis and card to pitch to Forsaken City. Getting Chain Lightning-inged. Oh, we both played part of that cycle. I have the Chain of Vapor. You have the Chain Lightning. It's not the same cycle. It's just inspired. But this cycle from Onslaught was inspired by the card Chain Lightning. And they get to play a Lethal Murktide now. I don't believe I have any outs left. Yeah, I'm at 7, and they're making a 7-7. They're actually making an 8-8. Okay, now I need to spend a turn answering Murktide Regent. I need the other Chain of Vapor. Ugh. Not looking good, team. Oh, they only made a 6-6. Wow. Saying there's a chance. Spirit Guide and Stasis? Oh, 2 Spirit Guides. All right. I am dead. I think they were really careful about Delirium that game in a way that could have ended up biting them. Like if I drew Stasis there, and I'm sure they know their hand is just answers. Okay, we've seen this before. I think I ended up with 3 forces in the deck. The Kioras are bad. The Needle on Brainstorm is pretty good. Or on a... Yeah, Needle on Brainstorm. Got him. Needle on Wasteland is good. Did I cut the chains last time? I feel like I did. I've already forgotten what happened 1 round ago. Or did I not have 3 forces in? Did I only have 1? That doesn't sound right. Alright, I've given up on Chain of Vapor. I'm not answering anything except via Stasis. Let's do it. Ooh, Tabernacle. Just down and dirty. I'm going to keep this hand. It has 2 of the 4 things I need to win a game in it, which is the Forsaken City and the Route to Black Vise. I'm going to basic island pass here. I'd like to at least threaten an Urza Saga plan, even if I don't end up going with it. And go. Suspicious. This Scalding Tarn gives me life through the Brainstorm, so I'm into that. Land Go is like a Pyroblast all day. That's not Wasteland. Delverino. Scalding Tarn. I'm going to fetch now. Please don't have Stifle. But I have Flusterstorm even if you do. Okay. I'm going to get just a full value Saga here, which is not a thing that happens often in this deck. Force of Will revealed, but then shuffled away, which must mean they have another one in hand. Or other answers that are better. Or they're giving me too much credit as an Urza Saga deck. I'm also comfortable with that world. EI. As much as I'd love to Flusterstorm this, I do not have the mana if I intend to make a construct. Misty Rainforest. Still not a Wasteland. Making a bunch of constructs is kind of not great with this Tabernacle, but I don't mind squeezing my opponent in whatever squeezable ways I have. Do I get the Vise now, or do I Pithing Needle Wasteland? Yeah, I think I just Needle Wasteland. They haven't drawn any of them yet, and if I jam the Tabernacle, yeah, that's actually pretty good. Run off Wastelands. I'm going to attack first. See if they want to block. I don't want them to know Tabernacle's coming until they decide to keep their creature or not. See if they stack this correctly. They did. They get to see if Delver's going to flip before they decide if they want to pay for it. Still paying for it. Right, paying for both. Fair enough. I'm probably just not going to pay for my constructs, as awkward as that is. I need to start cantripping and actually execute my plan. I spent all that mana making constructs and now just let them die. Mystic Sanctuary, targeting Expressive Iteration. Okay. That's rough. God, they have so many lands. Meltdown. Okay. Well, now I don't have to decide. My things are just gone. Sure. Joke's on you. That was going to happen anyway. There's Root Maze. I think I want to start with a Preordain. Crop Rotation and Brainstorm. Crop Rotation does end up with Black Vise, but that's not that important. I do like the insulation against Wasteland. Right, I'm going to keep the Crop Rotation, and then play Forsaken City. Do I invest in the Root Maze now? Or do I want to do all that at the same time? Root Maze does slow down Wasteland, but I just insulated myself against Wasteland. Yeah, I'm going to Root Maze now. They're drawing EI. If they want to keep all their creatures and cast their spell, it's going to cost all the mana. How was Brainstorm on top of their... Oh, they drew with Bauble. Okay. Because I knew EI was on top of the deck last I checked. And then they just revealed Brainstorm. I forgot they drew a card with Bauble in between. Okay, there's Brainstorm. I have to save my Flusterstorm for self-preservation. There's a tapped Wasteland. Good. Ooh, forgot to attack. Or chose not to? That seems unlikely. They must have clicked through combat. We take those. That's a whole extra turn to play this game with. Sorry, not sorry. I am going to politely decline Forsaken City this turn. I'm to Brainstorm. Saga. More cities. Okay, I think I put back the island and one of the spirit guides. And I'm going to play Urza Saga. Enters the battlefield tapped. I have to crop rotate this turn. Basically, like, no matter what. Paying for the Delvers. I should be dead here. Borrowed time. Welcome to Moto. I might just die to 2 bolts anyway. Do I have to crop rotation here? I think that I do. Yeah, I actually do because I know my top cards are bad. I'm going to lose the Tabernacle because it doesn't matter. I'm going to get another Saga. All right, I have to draw exactly Stasis right now. I'm not going to untap the city. Preordain. Okay, Brainstorm sees more cards than Preordain. They see the same number of cards, actually, but Brainstorm can... It doesn't matter. Yeah, I think I just have to Preordain. If they have anything, I lose here. Just don't have enough blue sources, and I'm locked under my own root maze. All right, Preordain. Do something. Bottom. Dead. All right. GG's. We smeared one Delver player and then got smeared by the other. All is right in the world. I'll take a 50-50 matchup against Delver. On to the next round. Maybe we'll play against something different. We're a few rounds into the video. Thanks for sticking with me. Friendly reminder that if you're still here and having fun, smash that subscribe button. And if you want to play what I'm playing, you can use my affiliate link for TCG Player to support the channel while you shop for cards, and you can try any deck anytime with a cardhoarder.com loan account for Magic Online. All these links are in the video description below. Now back to the league. I'm on the draw round 3, still just marveling at this deck's ability to put its win condition together. Keeping. I need a root maze, but everything else is here. Uh-oh. Urborg Expedition map. Getting weird. We want to start with Saga and let's get to work on the Black Vise, or could just play a different land. Yeah, I'm going to play Tropical Island and pass. Be a little surprised if this is... I guess maybe I wouldn't be surprised if this is a Wasteland deck. Root Maze? Stasis, okay. I'll get my Saga down. They had the first Saga, which is kind of rough, but now I can protect my Saga with crop rotation. And by protect, I mean cash in. They're mapping for Dark Depths. Okay, it's like a Turbo Saga Depths. I've seen this deck before. It's pretty sweet. Thespian Stage, okay. They can stage copying Saga to play a long game, or just start cashing in Saga. Another Saga for me. It's fun. I'm going to play Island, probably make one construct and try to stick Kiora, but that might not work because... Alright, they're just making constructs. Yeah, I guess you just like make a bunch of constructs and then threaten Merit Lage. Okay, they're not threatening Merit Lage this turn if they're making another construct. Oh, shit, they heard me talking. Yeah, they realized that they should just make Merit Lage this turn. Is there anything in my deck that crop rotation does about this? No. Yeah, I think the ship sailed here. I'm not gonna respond to this. Okay, they got another expedition map. Duress. Damn it. Okay, resolves. Yeah, they really just didn't interact with me and just plop, plop, plop. And I just couldn't get the root maze together. Maybe I should have fired in on the Stasis and hoped it held until I found root maze. Yeah, maybe that's the line. Because now it's too late. If they just make Merit Lage, I'm dead. Even under Stasis. Because Merit Lage is already untapped. I need to draw Chain of Vapor, basically, is what's happening. Took the crop rotation. That is the smart one. Do have Pithing Needle in my deck, though, that I can grab with Saga if they don't heads up the Merit Lage on their own turn. Okay, they're mapping. Getting a Saga. Okay. They're just not doing Merit Lage things. Dirty pool. I guess that doesn't actually matter. You name Misty Rainforest. What do you do here? Name Kiora. Named Kiora. Master of Depths. Oh, shots fired against the Dark Depths deck. Also makes the construct big enough to rumble. But I'm kind of ahead on the Saga game right now. And threatening a combo kill. Okay, I'm going to get Pithing Needle and turn off Thespian Stage. Turn off Thespian Stage. That shuts off Dark Depths. And I have another Saga. And I can play Black Vise. I'm going to use black mana to do it for maximum style. And I get to attack for 4. Okay. Still kind of in it. We got a Shadow Spear. Now, their construct can tangle with mine, though you can't equip and make additional constructs in the same turn. All right, they can make a construct in response and trade, and I think I'm okay with that. Maybe this I got tricked. I don't know, but the trade seems fine here. Defense grid. That's a joke in this matchup for sure. That will be coming out. Do I want to just jam a Stasis here while they're tapped out and start the clock ticking until I find Root Maze? I think this is a reasonable thing to do. And I can even sandbag the Forsaken City because I have a number of cards I can afford to pitch that I don't actually care about. They get to tutor up an artifact and get at least 1 attack in, but it's literally 1 attack. Okay, yeah. All right. I'm going for the Stasis. Let's slow it down. I'm not going to attack. I can just block, make sure I don't die, and then start freezing it up. Guess I should fetch my Misty Rainforest just in case they need all that. It taps for mana under the Urborg anyway, but not mana that I want. I'm going to use Tropical Island. All right, they did have another Pithing Needle. I was right. What do you even name? Everything that's important to me is already in play. All right, yeah, Urza Saga. That doesn't matter. Arrakis. All right, they do have a mana source. Getting their 1 final attack in. I'll get my block in. Neither of those are doing anything for the rest of the game. So I pay a blue now. Then, all right, drew another Saga. I'm actually out of things to tutor with Saga. And I'll play the Forsaken City. And hope they don't play Wasteland, I guess. This Vise is so black. If they have another land and Vampire Hexmage, they can win the game right now. Uh-oh. They had another land. You have the Hexmage too? No! Oh, Dark Confidant. That's a win condition. Sign me up. Okay. That went from the worst news to the best news. It also makes Black Vise better. Okay, so I'm actually going to do this in the opposite direction this time. I can, because City's already untapped. So I pay for that. And then I can exile this Kiora that they know about. Crop rotation. That's not bad. I'll play another Saga. Dark Confidant. Puts Dark Depths in their hand. That is an untapped land they can start to grind out with. Oh no, another land. The Bob is attacking. I need a Root Maze right. Shmeow. The blue. Exile Defense Grid. Root Maze. Uh-oh. Does the island matter? If I get duressed, that's actually really bad. And they have shown me duress already, so I should hold back this island. Bob just revealed Expedition Map. There's the Dark Depths. Please don't have Hexmage. Him to Turok. That's bad too. Glad I held back that island. Yeah, this happens. Can't actually respond to it if I want to keep playing the game. I'm not making... Can I actually win this game anymore? I can... Okay, I just need to not exile the city this turn. Alright, so I'll pay 1. I'm not going to exile. And I'm going to draw Root Maze. Brainstorm. Float a black. If I brainstorm now, I get a shuffle. Alright, I guess I do that. There's the Root Maze and the Chain of Vapor. Those are the 2 cards that I want the most. Which is awkward because... Okay, how do I do this? I guess I don't get Chain of Vapor. Ah, fuck, I'm a card short, aren't I? I could... Oh, I can Chain of Vapor Stasis in their end step, untap into my whole board. Okay, so I put back Stasis and... Nope, I need the island. Damn it! I shouldn't have responded to the shuffle. Or do I have to search? Search your library. Damn it, it's not optional. Alright, fuck. I got too clever with the brainstorm. Turned out I actually just wanted all 4 of these cards. Alright, the Stasis goes back. And I guess the Root Maze has to go back too. God, that sucks. I looked right at the win condition and then had to throw it away. All right, I'm going to play the island. I'm going to Chain of Vapor my own Stasis in the end step. I get to untap once. I can replay Stasis, which lets me untap all my lands, or most of my lands. That gives me 2 draw steps to find the Root Maze again. There's the stage. Uh-oh, Dark Ritual. I hope they're just getting cards out of the hand. Map. Okay. Using map. All right. What are we searching for here? Another Saga. Okie dokie. In the end step, I'm going to bounce Stasis. I'm not going to copy it. I need all my lands. Draw Root Maze. Oh, I did draw Root Maze. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. All right. Well. All right. Yeah. We're good. 1. I guess. Yeah. 1, 2. Stasis. And then Root Maze. And then I don't need to untap Forsaken City next turn, and I'll draw a card to do it the turn after that. That should be game. Between the Bob and the Black Vices, I think we're good. That was a really good draw. We did it. They would need something like Unmask to beat me now. Okay, the Black Vices are triggering. The Bob is dealing damage to them and filling their hand for Black Vice. Just double duty on the Dark Confidant over there. Now I need to stack my triggers correctly again. Pay the blue. Do have a Duress, but I don't know how they're gonna find mana to cast it. Yeah, they would need to like unmask me on a turn where I didn't top deck a land, is the way they can break up my combo. If Unmask or Grief are even cards they play, which seems unlikely. But it is a mono black combo deck, so maybe. Yeah! Couldn't find the exit. Alright, what do I want to do about this? Force of Vigor, they are a Saga deck and a Pithing Needle deck. Flusterstorm against the discard, I kind of like. Defense Grid is real bad. Force of Vigor, I can see an argument for. I don't know that I want to cut more things than just the defense grids. My answers to Merit Lage are the 2 Chain of Vapors, or just comboing out first, and that's all I got for that. Force of Will can protect my hand from discard, but the Kiora, I guess, is cuttable. Alright, I'm going to cut 2 Kioras for 2 forces, and leave it there. Is Force of Will better than Force of Vigor? Like, do I just want 0 Force of Vigor, and bring in all my Force of Wills, or 3 Force of Wills? I think I actually do want to do that. Because Force of Vigor doesn't stop them from comboing with Merit Lage. It just stops the Saga half of the deck, which I don't actually care about. This hand is good. I'm going to keep it. I don't have Root Maze or Green Mana, but I have Chain of Vapor, which if they try to go fast is my only out. But it also exposes my only out to a Duress if they start off with that. Alright, there's the green source. I'm going to preordain here. Crop Rotation, Pithing Needle. These are both good, but I don't think I actually want Crop Rotation. And do I want Needle in my deck? Yeah, I'm going to bottom both. I'm just looking for Root Maze. Hit the Moto Bug, drew the Crop Rotation anyway. Could get him to Taroct here. Uh-oh, it might be even worse. Is it 2 Him to Tarocs? Karn Scion. That's fun. I'm going to start pooping out constructs. Yep. Okay, Saga, get in there. Black Vice, might as well. Gotta start somewhere. I could Chain of Vapor the Karn and just shut that down. It exposes me to Merit Lage. I think that's fine though. I don't want to just let this Karn run amok on the game, start drawing cards and shit. And if they sack a land to bounce my Black Vice, hell yeah. Okay. Don't Merit Lage me. Alright, just making a construct main phase, get the extra damage in. If I draw Root Maze, I win. Bee Storm. I like Bee Storms. I am going to Brainstorm. I'm looking for Root Maze here. Brainstorm. Howling Mine. That's not a Root Maze, obviously, but it is kind of exciting. If I hide Stasis on top of the deck, I get to draw it and another card next turn. Worried about getting Merit Laged right now. but there's nothing I can do about that. All right, I'm gonna put back Saga and Stasis. I just want to hide Stasis from discard spells. And then I'm gonna play Howling Mine. Let's turbo. I know they have Karn in hand. They can draw extra cards anyway. I got Black Vise. Let's do this shit. Made another construct. Got Pithing Needle. Yep. Named Urza Saga. Fair enough. To attack for 8. Yeah, I'm dead. The duress was right. I did hide the stasis. So I'm gonna go into just the soft stasis again. I draw a stasis and the saga. And then make float black. Pithing Needle. I can name Thespian Stage, or I could just get another Black Vise and try to kill them. Or I wouldn't name Stage, I would name Wasteland, right? Or I could just fuck it. Yeah, I'm just gonna go for the win. Play Stasis, play Forsaken City. Alright, let's go. We're doing this one in slow motion. Gotta find Root Maze before they find a way to kill me through the stasis, or remove the stasis. Swamp, Pithing Needle. Okay. There's nothing left in my deck to needle. Maybe like some fetch lands to randomly spike. Yeah, I boarded out the Kioras. That's fine. I think the play is to actually keep playing artifacts until that construct is lethal. Yeah, it looks like they found the line. I'm going to pay for stasis with my basic island because I need green if I'm going to spike the Root Maze. Howling Mine. I could play another Howling Mine. Just get nasty here. There's a Pithing Needle left to search for with Saga. If I play Saga, jam the other mine, I'm drawing 3 cards a turn. But then I'm not... Oh, I could Saga, Forsaken City, like rotate for another Forsaken City. That's a line. With 2 Howling Mines in play, that's actually pretty exciting. Okay. Alright, I'm going to play Saga. And I'm going to play the other Howling Mine. And we're just going to double Black Vise, race this opponent's hand. They're up to 7 cards over there. One of them's Karn. I'm actually in a world of hurt if they duress me here. I really want this crop rotation. Uh-oh. 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 Oh no, Karn. This is lethal over 2 turns. Oh no! That was really good. Yeah, feeding the Dark Ritual deck is pretty rough. Yeah, they make an extra construct here, and then, yeah, the Root Maze showed up a turn too late. Okay, let's see if my cool trick was going to work anyway. There's still a Chain of Vapor in my deck somewhere. Alright, so I have to untap Forsaken City, pitching this island, and then I'm going to crop rotate Urza Saga into another Forsaken City. Then I'm going to pay the blue for Stasis. Then I'm going to draw Island and Chain of Vapor in my 3 draw steps here. There's one of them. 2 more draws. Chain of Vapor. I can still Brainstorm. But Force of Vigor is not in my deck. Okay. That was a tight one. Yeah, feeding the Dark Ritual deck with the Howling Mines is a little different than other decks. I think I want Force of Vigors in the deck now that I've seen this plan unfold. Vigor is probably better than Will. Not a whole lot of green cards in the deck that I want to pitch, though. Crop rotation is pretty important. But, alright. Back in, same plan. I don't want Collector Oof because the artifacts that are killing me don't have activated abilities. They just are. Simply exist. On the play. Okay, I have Root Maze this time. I'm going to keep. I have Root Maze and Force. It's good shit. I'm just going to get the Root Maze down and dirty. I think playing slow favors me. Means they can't duress me on turn 1 either. Preordain. You love to see it. Find me a Stasis. That's not a Stasis. Bottom this. I'll keep the other Preordain. And get Saga running. Yeah, Dark Ritual is a rough beat for the Root Maze deck. I don't have Stasis in my hand, though, so this Thoughtseize is kind of medium. They can't take the Forsaken City, which is the best card in my hand. They could strip the Force of Vigor. Alright, did you hit the city? You did, okay. Alright, we're gonna have to work through that. Another Saga. Preordain. Chain of Vapor and Misty. Chain of Vapor is so close to what I want to be doing. I'm just gonna bottom both of these. If you're not Stasis, you're out of here. Alright. Pithing Needle. I'm gonna name Urza Saga. Which is great because that's all that I have going on too. But it's what they have going on. The last card in my hand being green's kind of exciting. If I ever find Force of Vigor, I can use it. Set him to Turok. Was solid though. Find the black Vise, and I have to play around him. Can't make constructs right now. If they can make Merit Lage right now, I'm fucked. Because I bottomed the Chain of Vapor at the time. But I found the Pithing Needle when I did that. Like, if I knew I could Needle Saga and play off those win conditions, then I would have backed up the other one. But I didn't know that at the time. Expedition Map, that can find the Dark Depths next turn and then make Dark Depths the turn after that. Or make Merit Lage the turn after that. Ugh, I need a city and a Stasis. This is tough. And my Saga's about to die. Well, I will try this Brainstorm trick again. Alright, cool. I don't need this Root Maze, and Scalding Tarn is really bad with Root Maze in play. Get another Black Vise. Play this land. Play this Howling Mine. I get the first hit off it. I mean, my deck's doing what it's supposed to. They can make Merit Lage next turn, which will come into play tapped. If they have Dark Depths in hand already, they can make Merit Lage this turn. I need a Stasis, is what's going on here. I draw 2 cards this turn. If one of them Stasis, I can pay for Stasis one more time, get 2 more turns, try to find the... Okay, so there's the Merit Lage. I get 4 looks at Stasis before I'm dead. That's not good. Right, they can Merit Lage now. Merit Lage is tapped, so I get 2 more looks at Stasis. And my hand is not particularly discardable. Oh god. What is this shit? It's him to Turocking, making sure the coast is clear before you go for... Alright. Oh, artifacts and lands. Why did I think creatures enters battlefield tap? No, I'm actually just dead if I don't find the... Oh, you have this too. Okay. Alright. Well, I need the Chain of Vapor. Root Maze and... Alright, Preordain. We're still going. I'm not dead yet. Flusterstorm and Force of Vigor are not it. And I'm looking pretty dead, team. Yep. Alright, they were not fooled. Yeah, that was a really interesting match. Like, we're both on kind of bullshit, and their bullshit doesn't always involve casting spells, and some of their like, being able to just, like, land drop, win is one powerful angle, and then they also have the 1 mana Ritual Karn angle, so they both have high mana lines and 0 mana lines. Pretty cool stuff, and the way it lined up. I just couldn't get all my hooks in quite together, and their discard didn't help in that regard. On to the next round. On the play in round 4, I have Stasis, nothing else to go with it, but I got cantrips, and Crop Rotation can get the Black Vise indirectly or the Forsaken City. Let's start putting things together here. Well, there's all of my cards. Top. I mean, that was literally the 2 cards I needed. Let's see how quick my opponent wants to move here. What kind of disruption they put up for me. Power is in their hands. Mountain. Mishra's Bauble. Going on here. It's a Painter deck. Delver doesn't play basic Mountain. Some sort of like weird burn prowess deck with Mishra's Bauble in it. Okay, yeah, it is Painter. Gotcha. Okay, so we're going to be racing. That's the plan. But Root Maze is pretty good here. I actually have what I need. Or they're a Pyroblast deck, though. Ugh. Yeah, Pyroblast in the main deck versus my blue card win condition is rough. I'm gonna fetch now because once Root Maze is in play, fetching is just completely untenable. And I'm gonna play the Maze. I'm gonna slow them down, hope they tap their mana this turn, tap out a Pyroblast, and then jam Stasis, and then win. That's the plan anyway. There's Saga. Please play like Goblin Welder or something. Ox Opal also enters tapped. Play another Grindstone. Shit. He didn't play another Grindstone. Well, this is the world's most obvious Pyroblast. Not sure what I'm supposed to do about it other than slam into it. My deck doesn't really play from behind very well, and there's an Urza Saga over there. Yep, no shit. Okay. Hard mode activated. Just need to draw another Stasis. I don't ask for much. And then for not have a Pyroblast, please. Okay, they had Painter, they had the whole shit, they had everything. Okay, so I need to draw Stasis right now. Stasis off the top. Shit. All right, yeah, there is nothing to be done here. It can't. Yeah, there's no like lands to crop rotate into that affect this board in any way. I can't get the Pithing Needle. Yep, okay. They had the disruption. I went for quick combo with no protection and they just had the answer. Unfortunate. The old mono red deck with Pyroblast in the main against my blue win condition. The big Force of Vigor matchup though. And Collector Roof matchup. Kiora is real bad. Which has been a theme in this league, if you notice. Defense Grid, I don't hate. It does make my forces a lot worse, but it makes their Pyroblasts worse also. Pithing Needle's good. I wish I didn't feel so strongly about having two Black Vices in the deck, but if you draw one or one gets removed, you actually can't win the game. Alright, maybe I am just going to chill off of Defense Grid. Just line up my Force of Vigors and Collector Oofs and try to win the game fair and square. Or I could cut the Howling Mines and bring the Defense Grids back. I could also cut the Defense Grids for Force of Wills. Now I have Force of Vigor and Force of Will in my deck. I think I like that. I could cut a Chain of Vapor. Yeah, Chain of Vapor is pretty bad with Force of Vigor in the deck. That's just like a way better version of the same thing. And in Chain of Vaporing your own Stasis is a line that came up once already that this configuration doesn't do. But I think we're just going to be racing for the exit here, and having 7 more free spells in my deck looks pretty good. Brainstorm does a lot, but this hand needs more than Brainstorm can provide. I'm going to ship it. Okay, I mean, I'm not mad about turn 2 Collector Roof with Force backup. I'm going to keep this, and I'm going to bottom one of the Forsaken Cities. Just hope that Preordain provides better mana than that. Preordain, find me a fetch land or some shit. Yeah, fetch land and Urza Saga. We did it all. Up top, Goblin Welder. I do want to answer that because that's one of the few non-artifact permanents in their deck. And it can get tricky and do stuff when the rest of their deck isn't doing stuff. All right, Misty Rainforest, let's go. Oof, there it is. All right, I'm going to try to oof and then do Saga stuff and win the game. They had the Saga first, that's tough. It'll depend on how much this oof can do. They had another Goblin. Shiny Painter, all right. It's lining up already. Saga, get in there. Do I want to play Elvish Spirit Guide and beat down? They can have a 1/3 in play as soon as next turn. Yeah, I suspect the Burst of Mana will be worth more than the 2/2 during this game, but I think that is a reasonable conversation to be having. This is also a green card for Force of Vigor. That's a reason to sandbag it. Because if they can put any other artifact into play, yeah, they can just flip Great Furnace into Painter, but then they won't have red mana to Pyroblast. If they can get this Painter into play, which they can this turn cycle, then they can Red Blast my Oof. Root Maze, okay. It is a card I like. How foolish is attacking? I think it's fine. Yeah, if they can kill my... They have to kill my Oof in order to activate Saga. I guess, like, Simulated Spirit Guide would have been a blowout there. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have done that. I'm going to play Forsaken City and Root Maze. I just want to slow them down even more wherever I can. They get to search up Grindstone this turn with Urza Saga. They're flipping their Painter, their Great Furnace into Painter. So they need to remove my Oof and generate 3 mana this turn through Root Maze. And they have to remove the Root Maze before the Grindstone comes into play. Okay. I mean, this could still go sideways in a variety of ways, but the Root Maze is a nice stopgap in the meantime. Yeah, there's the Pyroblast. Ugh. Blaze attack. Oh my god. I guess it doesn't matter. I only have the one. Alright. And it's tapped. They know what they were doing. Okay, I am not going to pitch to Forsaken City. That is optional. I am going to make another construct, and I'm going to Pithing Needle Grindstone. And I'll play an extra land and attack for 3. The race is on. The way this game is played out, I'm feeling kind of foolish for not deploying my 2/2 Elvish Spirit Guide, but they have a 1/3 blocker now, so it's worse than it was. They played a tapped mountain. They can engineer Grindstone into Bauble and draw an extra card. Oh, they had another Welder. All right. Lots of good cards over there. If they're not going to block, they should be attacking. Yep, figured it out. Hey, now I feel good. Rewarded for my patience. The Welders make the force pretty awkward, but I'm still happy to see it. If they go to use the Welder, they can also weld my constructs into artifacts if I end up with any artifacts in my graveyard. Like if they can kill my Pithing Needle, they can start welding constructs into Pithing Needles. Okay, cool. I could have pitched Spirit Guide to untap City, and then I can hardcast Force, but I don't think that's where I want to be. I'm going to keep bashing here. Right there, 4. I'm not going to play Stasis because I'm currently winning by attacking. Uh-oh. Okay, there's that. The Root Maze is still in play, which will make having any extra mana here a lot harder. Oh shit. They're so fucking smart. Oh wait, no, I can pitch the Spirit Guide. It's the same thing. It's worth mana. Alright. I'm not going to pitch Stasis here. They're going to Grindstone me. I'm going to Force of Vigor, targeting their 2 things. They have no artifacts in play to bring the Painter back into play with. They have Spirit Guide Reb. They win. We're also at the point where they can weld my construct into a Pithing Needle to survive another turn. Okay, I'm getting milled for 2. I'm not going to untap my city. I'm going to attack for 4. They're probably going to weld to stay alive. Oh, they either didn't see it or they think they have something better. That's interesting. Like, they either think these constructs are more baitable than Pithing Needle is, or they just didn't see the line. Not sure how this deck can stabilize here with the Root Maze. Like, I'm sure they have plenty of ways to win without Root Maze around. They do go to 1 if they can, like, Painter Servant plus Pyroblast one of the constructs. Doing something. Engineer, that can block for a turn, but they need to block 2 things. This becomes dangerous because if they can just like Lightning Bolt and then block, I have nothing. Snaring Bridge. Okay, so they can block both of these now. Be alive for a turn. But then I can just pivot into Stasis. If I even want to do that. Okay, attack you. You have to block both. Those are gone now. And do I jam the Stasis, or do I bet that I can still win this game with attacking? I'm going to still try attacking, because if they spend a turn getting Ensnaring Bridge back into play, then it's like Stasis is in play anyway. The benefit to moving on Stasis there would have been they were tapped out of red mana to Pyroblast me, but Pyroblast doesn't answer the board. Okay, we got a Construct Beatdown win. Scrappy stuff. That oof was good. Chain of Vapor is so awkward. Yeah, I'd rather just be on Force of Vigor. Force of Will is also really awkward against the Pyroblast deck, but I think necessary. Alright, same shit, let's go. Okay, I can Needle very early. I have Stasis, I have City. I'm in. Mountain, go. They could be setting up a red blast on blue spell, but I'd rather flush out the red blast than not. I actually just want all this shit. Blue cards for force are good. Brainstorm to fix my hand is good. Saga and engineer. I can force this engineer. I think I like that. Getting rid of this preordain. But I kept all these blue cards around. Okay, brainstorm, let's go. There's root maze. We're almost there, team. Can I get the hooks in now? Or I think I should Pithing Needle this turn and then Forsaken City, Root Maze, Stasis next turn. So if I put back Tropical Island and Forsaken City, then I can Needle Grindstone right now. Or I could Root Maze now. Also Needle Saga right now. If I Root Maze, it's like Needling Saga because they won't get any constructs out of it. Yeah, I'm going to Root Maze first. Yeah, that land comes into play tapped where it can't make a construct token. I kind of hope they do cast Goblin Engineer or Painter here. Just tap out. Give me a window. There's a tapped Grindstone. Tapped Mox Opal. Okay, I could be dead next turn. Spirit Guide would be a great draw. Spirit Guide! Uh-oh. I can Needle, Naming Grindstone, and just slow it down. I can also Brainstorm. Yeah, if I'm gonna Needle, I should Brainstorm. Maybe I can flush out a Pyroblast here. There's the Spirit Guide, you fucker. Showed up. 2 cards too late. I'll still take it, though. And play Needle. I'm gonna name Grindstone with this. Try to guarantee being alive another turn. There's a tapped Construct. Tutoring for a tapped... What? Tapped Bauble. Alright. They're playing so well. I hate it. I hate when my opponent makes good decisions and does things right. Not fair to me. I guess I'm not in danger of dying, so I can just make another land drop, pass, and look for one of my forces, try to get the shields up. This is not getting better. And they have a 5/5 in play. Yeah, this is rough. Like, I didn't bring in Flusterstorm. Here's this forest that you know about. It is the second green. If I draw a Force of Vigor, I can cast it now. Pithing Needle, okay. Urza Saga, fair enough. Goblin Welder, that's good. All right, Preordain. Flush out a Pyroblast. Does crop rotation do anything for me? I don't think so. Bottom, bottom. Another Preordain. Keep it going. Pyroblast it. Pyroblast it. Get antsy. Another Stasis. That's actually really good. They attack me for 5 next turn. So if I go top, top, play my land. Top, top, play my land. 5/6. If they have 2 artifacts, I lose. Okay. I'm going to pass the turn and hope they don't have 2 artifacts. And then just play 2 Stasises next turn. And hope they don't have 2 Pyroblasts. There's 1 artifact. Don't have another one. Don't have another one. Okay. Attacking for 6. I'm at 2. Alright, here we are. The final countdown. Stasis is on the stack. Red Elemental Blast, yep. Stasis is on the stack. I've done what I can here. Oh my god, it's in play. Forsaken City is with it. Okay. Goblin Welder can attack me for 1. Another Goblin Welder's lethal. Painter Servant enters the battlefield tapped, but Welders and Engineers don't. Oh god. Okay, putting me to 1. Alright, it appears they don't have anything. I'm going to spend a turn paying for Stasis with my lands that are currently untapped. Spirit Guide might still come in handy. Oh, okay. Had another Pyroblast, just tricked me. Alright. I guess I'll draw for turn. And... I'm 1 card short in my hand. And I can get like a fake time walk here. Yeah, 1 card short in my hand. The 3rd Stasis almost brought it home for me. But unfortunately, it did not. Cannot pay for this. Disappointing. All right. We put up a pretty good fight against the deck full of Pyroblasts. Tough run there. But that was a lot of fun. I don't think I guess if I have like one less hit from a construct, that gives me time to figure out when to deploy the second stasis. Like I just get a turn to act instead of getting smeared immediately. But yeah, just a turn late there. I'm on the play in the final round, trying to salvage the half your money back. I'm going to keep. And I'd like to remind everyone that even if we do go on an 0-4 run in the back half of this league, we beat Delver in round 1. And in hilarious fashion. So, give me credit where it's due. I don't actually want either of these. I definitely don't want the Black Vise. I guess I'll take the Saga. As I can set up kind of a Saga defense grid situation here, make them think I'm some kind of 8-cast. I don't know. Just test their answers. All right, found the green source, which was the thing that I was missing. Grid. Grid up, kids. Getting a brainstorm in response. A flooded strand tundra strategy. So my opponent has good taste over there. This is exactly the kind of deck that would be concerned about a defense grid, though. Yeah, got that Force of Will out of there. Pitching Snapcaster Mage. Okie dokie. Settle in for the grind. Okay, I was worried we were about to get Stoneforge Mysticked. Flipping the script and getting aggressive on me would be something I'm not ready for. Did not shuffle their ponder. All right, I got a grip full of cantrips here. My plan is to make the Saga tokens and then unload. Like and play the other Saga and continue the Saga game. And if that fails me, I can start cantripping into action. Like Teferi, okay. If Teferi bounces Saga, then Teferi dies to the Saga token. All right, just plussing. Fair enough. This feels like a pithing needle on Teferi to me. Bang, bang. Pithing needle on Teferi. This is almost certainly a prismatic ending deck. All right, here's another Saga. Keep it coming. I'm going to attack Teferi. Just so if they have prismatic ending, they don't get to bounce immediately and get paid. I would like to just put the foot towards their face, but I know how these games go wrong, or go right, depending on which side you're on. Told ya. They exiled my prismatic ending, but Teferi is too small to activate. We've seen one Snapcaster Mage. They could snap. Ooh, that's good. Gonna fetch and preordain. I don't want either of these. I'm going to attack Teferi with both. See what they want to do about it. A Swords to Plowshares saves Teferi. A Snap Prismatic Ending saves Teferi with on 3 loyalty still. There's a Plow. And I'm going to make the token in response to get the extra life. In case that matters. It looks like Teferi's down to 1. I'm glad I invested that first hit on the Teferi, and it's not just asserting itself on the game. It's present, like I definitely feel that this card is around, but it's not like completely answered my Urza Saga. It hasn't drawn a card yet. I am going to miss out on brainstorming and then getting the shuffle off the Urza Saga, but I do have a fetch land in hand, so that's not as bad as it normally would be. Uh-oh, alright. Narset is a way that this game ends if they find a Day's Undoing before I can get set up. But unless they can really clock me... Ooh, okay. Not activating Narset. This is an opponent with a plan. I'm going to go all the way in here. I got to pressure these Planeswalkers. I'm going to get Black Vise, which is just really funny with Day's Undoing. I am burying my constructs into Narset here. All right, that was just a fog. I'll take a fog. Brainstorm, let's fix this hand up. Forsaken City's here, Stasis is here. I'm still missing the Root Maze. I think I want to get rid of Chain of Vapor at this point. I have enough green mana that I can fetch another basic island. I can't imagine this mana base is playing back to basics in it, but I want to respect it. Okay, There is everything I want. 1, 2, 3, 4 for Kiora. Untap a land. That's 1. Forsaken Cities, 2. I am going to keep the Spirit Guide as well, because I might actually get Kiora into play here. The Black Vise should be a red flag that something weird is happening. Please don't Wandering Emperor me. Okay. That's not too bad. Bounce one of these, draw another card. And attack Teferi with the other 2. Hope I counted right on this Kiora. Attack Teferi. All of these. Okay, Teferi's gone. If I play Kiora, she can untap a land. And that's 1. Forsaken Cities, 2. And then I can Spirit Guide the Root Maze. Yeah, I'm going in on Kiora. Ka-chow! Kiora's also kind of Force of Will bait because Stasis is the actual card I care about here. Oh, we're getting a fetch in response. You have a main deck Pyroblast. Okay, Mystic Sanctuary. Targeting. Are we Force of Willing, then brainstorming into the Force? What's going on here? Alright. Force of Will is on top of the deck. We're going to brainstorm blue card into this. What it's looking like. Okay, so Force of Negation pitching Force of Will. Alright. I don't think I actually... I'm going to play Forsaken City. And do I actually Stasis here? I don't think so, because without the Root Maze, it's not a lock. Yeah, I think I'm just going to pass the turn. I'm glad I fleshed that Force out, though. World's most embarrassing Black Vise. My opponent has 0 cards in hand. They're gaining 4 life a turn. Okay, alright, cool. Well, we have them locked now. I don't even care about that. Those were not going to be part of the game after this turn anyway. Do I even want to brainstorm? I guess I'll take a crack at it. Okay, found crop rotation. That's great. I don't need this other Stasis. I don't need this other brainstorm. I just need to Misty Rainforest, fetch, get my basic forest, crop rotate. I don't even need to do that. All right, Root Maze, fuck the crop rotation. I'm not going to get fancy here. I'm just going to end the game. They have to win this game with that 1 volcanic island. It might take a long time. They have 0 cards in hand, but the Black Vise is going to work. And I am up on clock. Okay. They realize my opponent is wise enough to not try to play through this. They have conceded. I've demonstrated the loop or the situation. And they are a Jeskai control deck. It's going to take them a lot longer to win a game than it's going to take me. So don't waste time in game number 1 that you can use to win the other 2 games. The tactical concession. Okay, do I want... I don't think I want Chain of Vapor. They can bounce Planeswalkers, but who cares? Force of Will versus Flusterstorm is kind of the debate. They're going to have Pyroblasts in this game. If I bring in Flusters and Forces, I can try to punch through on a clutch turn. Yeah, that makes sense to me. Let's do it. And I actually do want Howling Mine for this matchup. I think my cards are more impactful than theirs on average. Okay, no blue mana is kind of rough, but I can crop rotate into blue mana. I'm going to keep this. I like the Saga. Ooh, Spirit Guide. Do I want to Spirit Guide? Spirit Guide doesn't do anything. I don't know why I said that. Do I want to Saga or Forest? Do I want a Root Maze? Root Maze is the card that I was trying to spit out when I said, do I want to Spirit Guide? I think I do want a Root Maze. It slows me down, but it slows them down too. It's part of my combo. Let's invest it. I'm not really planning on spending mana next turn. The Wandering Emperor's tokens have Vigilance, which is something that is deeply troubling in this matchup. I could slam this Howling Mine right now and just get to work. There's a Saga. I think I actually really like that. Owl. Alright, it's in there. And it's tapped, so I get the first draw. Checkmate. They can Prismatic Ending it, though. Check minus. Oh, wait, no, they can't. Lands are tapped. Fetch lands suck. Yeah, just Root Maze against a fetch land mana base is such a nightmare. And another fetch land. Alright, I'm going to get at least one card off this Howling Mine. It'll replace itself before it's gone. Going to play this island. I'm going to play Pithing Needle. Do I name Flooded Strand? Oh, I could have done this last turn. That would have been so cool. I could name Flooded Strand, or I could name Teferi. I'm going to name Flooded Strand. Just try to fuck up what they're doing. Sucks they've already used a strand, though. It's got to be a 4 of in the list. Play another one. Ooh, Prismatic ended my Root Maze. Good stuff. Feeling better about naming Flooded Strand now. Draw an extra card. Narset is rough against the Howling Mine. I probably should have boarded out Howling Mines. I forgot that they're a Narset deck. During the week that War of the Spark came out, I was streaming with a Narset deck, and I played against a Howling Mine deck, and it was not reasonable. It was absolute carnage. Okay, I'm not going to make a construct. Not now that I've drawn Defense Grid. I could crop rotate in response and like turn this land into something, but I don't think I need to do that. I have plenty of lands. They're making some sort of move here. What's this? Oh, okay. They're just fetching before I could get another Pithing Needle. Yeah, I don't have another one. Here we're safe the whole time. Defense Grid, let's go. Brainstorm now. Oh, that's a lot of lands. Okay. Get rid of some of them. And I'll pass the turn. All right, let's see how bad this is. My opponent is now almost fully functional. I have a Pithing Needle on Flooded Strand, but otherwise they're just playing normal Magic, and they're a control deck with a Howling Mine. Let's see if my deck betrays me here. Yeah, if they just play Narset, it's probably the end of the game with the Brainstorm and Howling Mine. Don't have Narset. Don't have Narset. Oh, Meltdown's also fucked up. Please don't do that. Oh god, this looks like a red X spell. No! All right. I have so many artifacts in my deck. Well, that was bad. Going to fetch away these lands I don't want. Root Maze. Love to see it. Brainstorm. When they can't hull breach me. Another grid is kind of exciting. I am going to want this Saga eventually. So if I put back Trop and Crop. Crop. But the crop rotation is my way to Forsaken City. Maybe I just have to give up on Flusterstorm. Okay. Urza Saga. Fence Grid. Yeah, maybe I should have left Bluster in my hand this turn and drawn Root Maze next turn. Whatever. Here's Root Maze. With my fucking Scalding Tarn in my hand. This deck is really awkward when you have to start trying to piece it together in the mid-game when it doesn't go to plan. My opponent just tried to force this. Their life total went down, but I have Defense Grid in play. So, sorry. You just let that card resolve, do you remember? It just happened. They are at least fetching in response. They could get Mystic Sanctuary and buy back Ending to exile the Root Maze if they see fit. They could also get their Meltdown back and just wait. All right, Mystic Sanctuary it is. Returning Ending, and now I know they have Force of Will in hand. So, gotta play around that. I seem really worried about Root Maze, though. Prismatic Ending the Root Maze, it's gone. Now I have to be a Saga deck. Okie dokie. I can cast Flusterstorm if I need to. Or Crop Rotation. Wander, okay. They have enough mana to dress down on my turn. Heartbreaking, absolutely tragic. I'm gonna fetch. I'm gonna get another basic. I'm not gonna lose to Ruination, but I mean, this mana base doesn't look like a Ruination mana base, but I'm still gonna acknowledge the possibility. All right, I guess I have to get the Black Vise. Oh, they're doing something here. I've just fetched in response. I should have crop rotated before that died. That was loose. Preordain, just building Storm. In case I need to fluster a removal spell. Oh yeah, we're getting in there. Oh fuck. Wasn't ready for that one. Okay, I guess I get to scry 2 and they get a treasure. Not much can be done about that. These cards are both bad, which is good because I need to crop rotate. They got me good on that one. Yeah, this crop rotation should have sacked the first Saga in response to it dying. I guess I would have gone for Forsaken City if I didn't know any better. But now I need to just be a Urza Saga deck and get over the finish line. because I'm not winning a normal game here. And even if they Days Undoing here, Black Vise still plays, and I'm attacking with my constructs. Oh, Meltdown, sure. Right now I'm dead. All of my win cons are in the graveyard. I have fewer cards in my deck than my opponent does, so I will deck first. Is there any reason to keep playing this game? Guess I'll take a draw step and decide. Well, I still have Urza Saga in play, which can still cheese out a game. Make a pair of 2/2s, I guess. Expressive Iteration. For good measure. Found a plateau to play. 3. Okay, this just became a real plan. Another Saga. And I have Flusterstorm. I mean, they have a lot of mana, but Flusterstorm is not nothing. They are 10. I mean, this could happen. There's no artifacts left to search for. They're all dead. Shit. That's a good one. Oh, plus that. Okay. That turns off the Flusterstorm, which was part of my plan. Okay, no attacks. They are protecting that Teferi. Another one of these. No Retrofitter. My secrets are given up here. I could attack for some trades. Could let Teferi pick me apart next turn. I have to do that. Ugh. But being able to tutor for one more artifact would be good there. Oh, this looks like a Meltdown in the end step. Change their mind. They realize they don't need to. Okay, Ponder in the end step. I am up 4 entire minutes on the clock, though. So I got that going for me. Still plussing Teferi. Yeah, they have a Meltdown. That's what's going on here. They're going to let me go all the way in before they melt down. I will briefly, for one shining moment, have 4/4s in play. And then they'll be gone. I can't cast this Preordain. Can't do anything. I will attack my opponent's life points directly and pretend there's still game to play here. There's the Meltdown. Yep. Telegraphed. Loud and clear. I probably should Preordain. I already passed the turn, but I probably should Preordain. Like, they have so much mana that a treasure is not a big deal, and the Scry 2 might matter. But probably not. I'm gonna play this game out to learn more about their deck, though. 2 Meltdowns. Good to know. Hull Breacher is good to know. Not every deck plays Hull Breacher. Some just do the Narsets with the Days Undoing. Days Undoing, weirdly, somehow, like, gets me back in this game because all my win cons are dead. Instep Snapcaster, probably targeting EI. That's very so sick when you're just running amok with it. Yeah, end step, Expressive Iteration. So nasty. Lands and creatures without flash don't work here, but any spell does work. Exile Hull Breacher. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, it got me for Xaxes. That is my life total. There are 2 Hull Breachers in this deck. You play it out for that sort of information. 2 Meltdowns, 2 Hull Breachers, 2 Snapcaster Mages. All of those were things I didn't know a turn and a half ago. Okay, how the hell do I beat this multiple Meltdown deck? I think all my forces are going to be required. And it's awkward that Defense Grid plays into Meltdown and turns Force off as an out. Yeah, maybe I'm just on 1 Defense Grid here. Do I want Kiora as just like a way to win the game? Because if Kiora goes ultimate, the 3 octopuses will win a game. And they're a Pyroblast deck with counterspells and shit, but it's something that doesn't die to Meltdown. I think I got to get rid of the Howling Mines. I did mention that as they're a Narset deck. Okay, I'm going to try this version. Force of Will is my protection of choice now. I have a backup win con if Meltdown resolves twice. Going for it. On the play with a cantrip hand. I'm less excited about cantrip hands in this deck than I am in most of the decks I play, but I'm still keeping it. Let's get these cantrips on the stack before my opponent gets set up with their Narsets and Hull Breachers that they apparently have at least 6 of. Bottomed a Spirit Guide, found a Stasis. Mana is not what this hand needs, so... Oh. I blew my chance at turn 3 Kiora, apparently. Second Stasis, alright. Just gonna fetch now. Okay, I have an extra blue card I can pitch to Force now. I have Kiora who can just be a permanent in play. Ooh, end step Brainstorm. That's weird. What are you doing with that? Is there a 2-drop that just beats me? They need the land to cast it? What's going on? Well, they have a fetch land, so either they just found that, or they found that to cast some busted 2-drop I can't beat. Okay, or they're just firing off cantrips like crazy. That's live too. Did not shuffle. All right, whatever that brainstorm was looking for, it liked it because all those cards are still around. Okay, Root Maze is certainly a card. I think I want the Misty Rainforest in first. Then I'll go for Root Maze. They seem to enjoy fighting over this card in the previous game. They spend a force on it now and make room for Kiora. That's great. Oh my god, Force of Negation pitching Brainstorm. They really don't want to play against Root Maze. That was cool. I'll take that. We're probably slamming a Planeswalker here, which I will Force of Will pitching Stasis. Especially that one, since Force of Will becomes textless when that one's in play. Right, that's countered. We're live, team. Oh, Forsaken City. Well, I'm going to slam Kiora and hopefully acknowledge the possibility of Stasising with Kiora next turn. Deal 4 cards from your library, put a creature or land card. Yeah, I think that's better. Yeah, minusing is better than plussing here. I don't think they have Lightning Bolt. If they have Prismatic Ending or Pyroblast, it's going to kill it anyway. So I'll just put a Forsaken City in my hand. I'm not spending 1 mana this turn. And the plan to just plus her until she makes 3 octopuses, I don't think is a reasonable one. Oh, play land and then Expressive Iteration. That's not normally how you do that. I hope it punishes them. Exiled an island that they cannot play because they've already played a land drop. All right. I'm about to put Stasis on the stack with Kiora in play. Oh my god, I have crop rotation too. Okay, Forsaken City and Stasis. Got a Force of Will out of that. I don't hate that. And then I'm gonna make green. I guess I can surprise them with the Urza Saga next turn. And just untap this island. And letting them untap does give Force of Negation. Yeah, that might have been bad. And Force of Will. But I'm still doing it. Crop rotation, sacking basic island. Sacking Forsaken City might have been better. Oh god, they're just forcing this. I'm so bad. I said it out loud and then did nothing about it. Okay, Kiora. It's your job to win this game. Stasis off the top right now. Stasis off the top. Shit. Oh, fuck. I'm so... I guess I'm gonna minus Kiora and reveal the Urza Saga, probably, that I would have loved to put into play. Okay, I didn't hit Urza Saga. Spirit Guide. And it's and/or. Alright, I get the land and the Spirit Guide. And this is a game where 2/2 beatdown could matter. Get in there. There is a creature in play that can produce lethal damage if a Stasis were to resolve. I am going to fetch. I have another fetch land in my hand if I draw Brainstorm. Ooh, the backup Kiora. And I don't need to worry about getting ambushed by Snapcaster or Hull Breacher because I have an untapped creature and backup Kiora ready to go if necessary. They drew Pyroblast. Okay, there's more where that came from. Stasis! Shit. Attack. There's 2 cards in their hand. I think this is worth just slamming. If they had Pyroblast any earlier, they would have used it a long time ago. They're currently tapped out of Force of Will. They would have had to have Force of Negation or 2-for-1 themselves to do that. Oh no, don't Snapcaster. Narset's rough too. But at least I can pressure her with a creature. Meltdown. Okay. Played around it. Come on, Stasis. Oh, Pithing Needle. Oh well. They just showed me Meltdown for that. I'm gonna put damage on Narset here. And do I think they have the Days Undoing? It doesn't matter. If I play my land, play Pithing Needle, I'm gonna name Teferi, or do I name the Wandering Emperor? Alright, I'm gonna name the Wandering Emperor. I'm much more worried about that one. Oh no, I forgot to activate Kiora! I'm so bad. If I lose this game because I'm 1 turn away from making octopuses, I'm gonna be so disappointed. Yeah, I fully expected the Days Undoing to happen here. Yep. Well, I drew Stasis. If there's ever a time to go unpunished, it's now. And I drew Saga. Running hot, all things considered. Back Narset. Please cast Swords of Plowshares. Right, they let it happen. Stasis on the stack. Let's go. Who's dead? Force negation, pitching, spell pierce. Okay. Urza Saga, get in. And untap 2 things. Kiora should be at 7. Go. I'm definitely going to lose this game 1 turn short of making octopuses. Octopues. For those of you who love to correct grammar in the chat, in the comments, and there's always several of you, I understand that octopi is how we're taught the plural of octopus is, but I think octopuses is actually correct. You'll have to Google that. But I've heard shocking things about octopus versus octopi and octopuses. This is what I'm talking about while my opponent resolves another Narset. I'm just disassociating. They're going to brick. And then I'm going to just go off somehow. Teferi's pretty good. That bounces Urza Saga. That sets me back pretty far. Or do you bounce the Spirit Guide? Please bounce the Spirit Guide, actually. Oh, wow. Plussing. All right. My opponent has a different plan in mind. Cancel. I'm actually going to fetch before I draw because my cantrips don't work right now. Might as well get lands out of the way. Speaking of cantrips. Okay, I am going to attack Narset. I don't want her to activate again. And we're going to do something super sweet. Go ready for this. Make a construct. Untap target creature and target land. And make a construct. I didn't need to do that one right away. Whoops. All right, and I am going to preordain Flusterstorm and Force of Will. Bottom both of those. And this Kiora would have been going ultimate next turn if I didn't miss that one activation. Let's see if that comes up. I also didn't need to play into this meltdown. Okay, they had the Reb. I don't have to feel bad about losing to that. It's still bad, but not as bad as it was a moment ago. But there is a second construct in play that I was just like in main phase mode. In case you couldn't tell from the quality of my play throughout this last game, I'm very tired right now. It's like the middle of the night that I'm recording. My second video of the day today. Found a Ponder. Teferi can still bounce one of my constructs, but I am still attacking. Bouncing Pithing Needle. Oh, somebody is wondering. That's interesting. Wow. That was a big tell. Especially for someone who doesn't even have the mana to play the Wandering Emperor right now. Black Vise. And I'm gonna Pithing Needle. Naming Narset this time. Just playing Pithing Needle because it's power and toughness on the board. And I'm ignoring these Planeswalkers and going straight for the face. Putting 10 damage in here. 12 damage with the Spirit Guide, who has been a rock star. I'm glad we got a Spirit Guide beatdown game. I think they just tried to cast Meltdown, but forgot that they minus Teferi. Uh-oh. I'm not the only one making mistakes this match. That's for sure. And we did it. They only had a minute left to win the game, even if they could stabilize there, but wow. What a weird game. I did not play well. I can't see my opponent's hand, obviously, but I think they made some mistakes too. At least some like sequencing errors and like trying to Meltdown just now in combat after minusing Teferi on an irrelevant permanent. I don't know. That was weird. But we did ultimately salvage half our money back. I gotta say, I did not like the defense grid version of this. Like, trying to play it like Oops All Spells or Belcher when you can play a perfectly good mid-range control deck and put hooks in later. I'm much more interested in that sort of play pattern. I do like how quickly it comes together, though. Like, this deck is built well to do exactly the thing and do it quickly. Everything came up. Not a single card was irrelevant. There were Howling Mind games. We did establish the lock multiple times. We got a big Kiora game, actually. Urza Saga won a game with Construct Beatdown. Spirit Guide blasted through multiple dazes in the early rounds and then became a 2-2 later to actually pressure planeswalkers and win a game. We got Black Vise kills, Pithing Needle did stuff. Every card in the main deck showed up and showed up strong. We didn't play against any graveyard decks, so the Grafdigger stage didn't come up, but the sideboard does make sense to me, though. I think it's just more my style to play the Force of Wills in the main deck. Like, get rid of the defense grids and at least one Chain of Vapor. Just bring the forces in, and now you can force on offense or defense, where a defense grid only works on offense. And I just think that's a better way to play the deck. Though that does exist on a continuum where I played a blue-white version of this deck too. That was just like, it used a Teferi who does something to the sun and moon. I don't know, the Innistrad Teferi, the new Innistrad Teferi. I don't know exactly what it's called, but it used that deck in like a very traditional blue-white shell, and then like Teferi plus Stasis was the lock, rather than Kiora or Forsaken City. Forsaken City and Root Maze let you go a lot faster, but you're also more dedicated to doing exactly one thing, where you can just tuck this into a control deck. And I think bringing your Force of Wills into the main deck over defense grid kind of splits the difference. You're still much more of a combo deck than a control deck, but I think I'd be happier with the forces in the main. But as far as assembling Stasis or Root Maze Forsaken City goes, this deck does it with ruthless efficiency. Swan, thank you for submitting this deck. Everyone, thanks for watching it. I hope this deck does well, because my viewers are the type of sickos who like this sort of thing, and so am I. So you're in good company. Thank you all for being here. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, check out the links to my Patreon and all those things in the video description below, and I'll see you next time.